Well, I was out of high school. In fact, I was 20 years old. I'd moved out on my own. Me and my dad had a falling out, so I'd been on my own for a little over a year, I guess. My cousin was a captain at the time, and he had me firmly convinced if you drafted, you're infantry, you're Vietnam. If you want to avoid Vietnam, go down and enlist and get the job of your choice, which is what I did. I asked for aircraft. They put me in helicopters, and I beat everybody from my basic training unit to Vietnam by 3 weeks. Of course, my unit, C Troop 717th Air Cav, we were over a little area just inland from Quy Nhon. We didn't have a regular mission to do since we were in maintenance most of the time. A lot of times our mission was to go out and recover one that got shot down or had a mechanical difficulty. My first trip home from Vietnam was probably the single worst incident that happened to me personally. I didn't get physically spit upon. I know some guys that did. But I flew out of SeaTac up there heading back to Florida for my leave. And I got on the plane first, of course I had to wear dress greens back then. And I was on the plane, I got my seat, took my jacket off, had it folded up. And this young woman and her little girl come up, maybe 6 or 7-year-old little girl. They had the 2 seats next to me. As the plane landed and we were all getting up, I reached under the seat and put on my jacket, with all my military stuff. And first thing out of her mouth was she grabbed that little girl and jerked her away and said, "Get away from that killer." And this was after we spent almost 2 hours sitting, having a good chat, friendly. And pretty much the whole plane went silent, but everybody just, oh, okay. And went on about their business. If it wasn't for us veterans, you wouldn't have the freedoms you got. The Constitution's written on a piece of paper. Veterans are what supports it and keeps it alive, not politicians. I worked for Vancouver Dodge for 20 years as a mechanic. And of course, it got bought out. And when they did the auto manufacturer's bailout in 2009, they pulled the franchise of, 786 dealers around the country, and we were one. Really, I didn't pay that much attention to politics. I started to after September 11th, getting a little more involved. 2004 election came along, and I kind of started blogging right after the election, just gradually build up to where I'm at now. I wouldn't be kowtowing to Portland like we do. We're not Portland. We're Vancouver, Washington. We're a separate community. And they got all these big plans for light rail, bus rapid transit. That's all coming out of us taxpayers. Then we turn around and beg for a grant from the federal government to keep a fire station open. What are they going to do if they don't find extra revenue to keep that place open a year or two from now? I would get the priorities straight. I like individual freedom. I like to get in my little truck and go where I want to go, when I want to go. You got to let people make up some of their own mind.